Hey, what's up, duders? You may recognize this area as my shipping and receiving area. I've got some guitars and things up. And there's my daughter. Here are my straps. You guys have seen all this stuff, but what you have not seen is this area over here, which is frankly a bit of a disgrace. With success in scoring a lot of vintage amplifiers has come the problem of where to store them all. And I have this little area off over here, which frankly is just not cutting it. So what I have done is I've gone to Amazon, and the reason I've gone to Amazon is I just had that turned that way for a reason, sweetie. So I've gone on Amazon and ordered a bunch of these wire shelving units. And the reason I did this on Amazon is because, man, I priced these out on Uline. Price-wise, I got these a hell of a lot cheaper on Amazon. I'll put some links down in the description if you need any of these. These were not given to me by Amazon. This is not an affiliate sort of thing. So this is not, you know, I'm not getting paid to review these or anything like that. I had to have these for storage, and I thought I'd just go ahead and show you what I'm trying to do with my area. And actually, I don't even know if these, even when these are all built, and I meticulously measured this all out and I think I've got it down basically to the inch. I have 3 shelving units that'll fit on this side, and then I have 3 that'll fit on that side, and then I have 2 that'll fit, I think, perfectly in the middle on the back. So I'll have shelves all the way around, and hopefully I can at least fit all of these on the shelves, if not a few more that I have stored elsewhere, which wouldn't even fit in this room. So got to do something with them, and hopefully this will solve part of my ongoing problem. Okay, I really want to look this thing over, because when I was watching the FedEx guy get these out of the truck, he was basically letting them fall from real high off the back of the truck, just fall to the ground. So I want to make sure that he didn't dent the hell out of these. Okay, so I've jumped ahead just a little bit, and I've measured the bottom shelf, and I want it to fit some of my larger amplifiers. Now that Harmony over there is a little bit taller than this Hawk, so I may find another shelf and dedicate for that. That's probably the tallest combo amp I'll ever own right there. That thing is fairly tall, unless I were to get like I don't know, unless I wanted to start putting cabinets or something on there. One advantage that Uline shelves have, when I looked at them, is they actually number these spots, you know, so you can easily see from one to the next, you know, how far up or down you are, so there's no guessing or eyeballing. But I mean, for the difference in money, I mean, you're talking about, if I ordered through Uline, the total to do this room with shelves was going to be $935 plus, I don't know if maybe they had free shipping, I can't remember, but $935 versus like $550. Pretty big difference. Okay, this next set of shelves, I think I want slightly smaller amps to be able to fit onto. See, for some of these shelves, you're going to have a situation where you have a big one, and then you can stack a tall, thin one kind of beside it. But for these middle shelves, I think I want to be able to have like my medium-sized amps on these middle shelves. So maybe something like this. Yeah, something like that should work fine. And I need to have enough room, you know, to be able to reach in also and pull them out easily. Now these do have these little double markers every so often. There's a double marker here and a double marker here. There's another one down here, and they help you kind of, because you can count, you know, how many spaces from a double marker. So this one needs to come down one, right? Yep. So I mean, even without the numbers, it's extremely simple. Okay. Next shelf. Yeah, once these get loaded down, these are going to be very sturdy as well. All right, so there's one shelving unit down, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more to go. Okay, so there we go. All of our shelves are in and up. And I'll just show you what has been done, and we'll take a look at my amplifier collection while we're at it. The way it worked out, I thought I had to share my space with my 2-year-old, so because that fit appropriately right across that span, and it kind of keeps her away from the amps. So I thought that was probably a good idea. I've still got this big Univox I've had for a while. I've got a Silvertone from the early 50s right there. I've had one of those before that I have demonstrated on the channel. I'll put a card up here if you want to check that out. There is one of the projectors that I got recently. There's another projector set that I got recently there. Silvertone 1484, complete with the head. There is a Sano amplifier that we're going to look at some point. There is a Supro, that's a 15-inch combo. 1697, I believe, is the model on the 1697T, I believe. There is my late 1960 Moog Theremin back there that I still have and probably will not leave my collection unless I get a really good offer on that thing. One thing about it though, and it probably had this before and I just didn't notice it, but there is a crack that's opened up right there, probably because of the wintertime conditions. I think it was already there, but it just kind of opened a little bit more because of the humidity. That's such is life. There's a Gibson, what is that one? That's an Explorer up in there. There's that Ampex. This is a, I forget what this is, but it's Dan Electro made. This one I believe was also Dan Electro made. These are going to be some cool restorations at some point. There is the Hammond AO29 conversion that I did. The legs are off at the moment and they're kind of up inside of there. That could probably use some new speakers. With a couple new speakers, that thing would just rock ass. There's that DeVry, and I was able to get some of my guitars up and off the floor as well, so that's really nice. That head right there actually goes to that amplifier. The amplifier is a Bandmaster. I think that's what it is, Silverface Bandmaster, and that was put into a custom cabinet, and I still have the original head as well. It's a 68, I think. That is awaiting restoration. That's an Epiphone Electar from the mid-1940s, and it's got some major problems. As you can see, it looks like one of the gangs from the Warriors got after it or something. It's just been spray painted to hell. Who does something like that? Who does that? But it's got, you can see there, it's got some taped areas. You see the veneer just all peeling on the sides and everything. That thing is in quite a state. That'll be quite the restoration once we get around to that one. Here's it's a little solid state K from the 70s. There's another interesting amp. That's a Chicago made amp. I forget who makes it just at the moment. There's an Epiphone Zephyr back there. Harmony H440 hiding under there that I still need to get to. There's that Walco. And if you guys see any of this that you're interested in purchasing, let me know. There is the projector that I've already converted for guitar, or actually just serviced, and it sounds great for guitar. That's going to be a cool conversion right there. That's a silver tone. There's a couple Gretches there, 6162s. I have a 1482 there that the grill cloth is not right on, and I'll change that at some point. I actually have a 1484 cabinet, and the cabinet is pretty much shot, but the grill cloth on it I might steal and use a piece on that and restore that. This National is missing the back, and we will make a back for it at some point. Here is the AO35 that I made, and that's in a very interesting and cool box, I think. A couple of amplifiers up there, smaller ones. We got some smaller stuff here. There's a Premier Reverb unit. I actually shot a video of that Premier Reverb unit at one point, and my hard drive crashed and I lost the video, so I'll probably reshoot another video for that at some point. It's just, when a hard drive crashes like that, it's just kind of deflating. You really don't want to have to redo your work, so I haven't bothered with it. Got a Harmony H15, or did I already mention that? That's a killer amp. Got this little Holiday. This is a real little oddball. I've got this Ampeg that I serviced at one point on the channel, and actually it started doing the same thing that it was doing once again. It took a while. It worked for a long time, but now it's kind of cutting out and doing some strange stuff again, so I think I'll have to get back in that one. Here's a Curtis Mathis that I converted. This came out of a console, and I serviced it and turned it into like a, you know, a head. But that's a cool amp. That's all tube. This is a cool amp as well, this Triumph 60. These are pretty decent sounding amps. They are capable of fairly high gain. It needs a foot switch, and the problem with this particular amp with no foot switch is you can't get into the other channel. You can't get to the high gain channel. There's no way to operate it without the foot switch. So, and the foot switch has a really weird plug, and I bought a plug for it at one point and promptly have lost it, I think. It might be in the back of it, actually. I'll check in the back of it later. But yeah, I got some stuff just up off the floor. And that white bag right there is a very interesting guitar, and I will probably, it's in pieces, but I will probably feature that one at some point. That is the oldest guitar in my collection. It is from the 1840s. Let's see what else. I've got that. That's a Gregory Mark V back there in the corner. And I think I owned that at one point and then sold it and then bought it back, if I remember correctly. Something like that. Or no. Someone brought it to me to repair, and I repaired it. And later on down the line, they wanted to sell it, so I ended up buying it. Here's a little Model 6000 that was made by Gregory also. Right back there, there's a Discovery, a Gibson, or Discoverer, rather. That one's got some little issues that need to be taken care of. There's a Gibson GA20 from the 50s. That one needs a logo put on and a new grill cloth. The grill cloth is actually back there behind it in that tube. So yeah, there's RCA cabinet up there. But this worked out very, very well. I'm very, very happy. Oh, I forgot. There's another Gibson from the 50s back there. That's an Invader, I believe. A GA30, something like that. From the 50s. That's a killer amp. It's got two speakers. They're different sizes. I forget. I think one of them is a 10-inch and one's a 15, maybe? I can't remember for sure. Or maybe it's a 12 and an 8. But yeah, this came out really well, and I measured it to perfection, and very, very happy. At least I've gotten everything up off the floor, and I have space back there to spare on the floor now, so very happy with that. My space is really coming together. I've moved this big ass thing that my wife bought over to this position, so it's out of the middle of my floor now, and I have some more floor space where I can work over here. This is gonna all be cleaned up at some point. You want something to eat? I'm gonna clean this up, and I'm actually gonna make this my second workstation. I've got my Celodi soldering iron that was given to me over here ready to go. As soon as I get this all cleaned off, I'll have a second station. Here's my shipping and receiving area. A lot of these guitars are actually going to be put up elsewhere. But yeah, man, I was able to get a lot more amplifiers in the house, into this area. Actually, this fit everything that I had over there, and I had several shelves to spare. So I ended up being able to bring in some of the stuff that I had stored elsewhere. So that's nice. So yeah, man, my space coming together. I'm really happy with it so far, but still a lot of work to do, and a lot of, geez, I mean, I couldn't tell you the number of projects. This is just really tip of the iceberg kind of stuff as far as projects. But I've got this little thing I would like to set up at some point. I've got that bass right there that needs to be repaired. This won't ever be repaired. That's just a junker. That actually plays kind of cool because it's got nylon strings on it, and it's tuned really low, and it sounds cool. So I'm going to leave it like it is. The top's all warped and cracked and everything, but I like it. Got a couple of silver tones here. These were made by K. That one's a K, and that one right behind it. Practically the same model. Different years. This one's been stripped. But just stuff like this, and I've actually got I've got a third one of these as well somewhere. I don't know where I put it. I think it's in the other room. They got a Japanese arch top right there that needs to be put together. I've got a little banjolin right there I would like to get to at some point. That's a baritone ukulele. I've got another ukulele that needs strings and a setup. I've got this K right here that I think needs some neck work. One of these. It's either that airline or this one that needs neck work. Just, man, so many projects, so little time. Most of the stuff hanging up is actually projects. This is a Stromberg Voisinette from the 1920s that I started on, a couple years ago, and just kind of lost interest. And I'll have to get back to that at some point. So you can see why I would be reluctant to buy more things, because I mean, unless I'm just getting a smashing deal on something, I pretty much am full up with projects. You guys might remember that bass on the end, that one hanging low there. That came from that hoarder's yard sale a while back. And I still need to get to that. The neck on that needs some work. This guitar was featured in a video before. That one right there. And I fixed the pickups and did some cosmetic work where somebody had moved the pickup. I still need to finish the pick guard for it that I started, and probably do a video of just the finish up on that. It's pretty much done, but we'll just finish it up cosmetically. Lots of things. This Teisco right here, shark fin is what they call them. It's got the whole 4 and 2 headstock, 4 to one side and 2 to the other. It's all original from what I can tell. I am missing the bar, so I'll have to locate a bar for it, take it all apart, clean all the insides, you know, the whole 9 yards. It's going to need a complete setup. The mute right there is missing, but at least it does have the mute. A lot of people took the mutes off and discarded them, so it does have the mute. Just too many projects to even really mention. There's more in here, and there's more elsewhere as well. Right back there, that's another Supro amplifier. That's from that's the head and cabinet configuration. This is one of the biggest ones that they made in the late 60s, toward the very end of Valco being a company. I think that one's in 1968. So we'll get into that at some point and do a nice cool restoration or service on it. Got some stuff, customer amplifiers coming. We got a cool custom solid state coming up from the 70s, so that'll be an interesting one. I've got a couple of other things that just came in the other day right there. So man, you know, I'm swamped. I'm trying to keep up with everything, trying to get things done, and I'm still, you know, gosh, between working and you know, moving this house, I've had so much to do, and I feel like so little time. My 2-year-old takes up a lot of my time during the day because I will have to watch her and stuff, and unless she's taking a nap, you know, I really don't have much time during the day to do anything. So it's constant battle, but again, such is life. Anyway, sorry for the rambling video. I just thought I would like to give you an update on what I was doing over here with because I figured it was relevant. Figured you guys might like to see where I stash all of my amps, because a couple of you asked at one point, where do you put all of your amps? Well, now you know. There's where I put all of my amps. So anyway, thanks for watching, and for now, you guys take care.
Well, I woke up this morning just as tall as I could be, and looked for my baby. Where can my baby be? Have you seen my baby? Have you seen my baby? I'm getting mighty lonesome. Where can my baby be?